Hey, everybody. What's going on? It's nice to see you. It's Thursday. I got Roxy and Brett back on the show. And this crew is endorsed by Greg Alba, if you didn't know. He liked Roxy and Brett. He liked those episodes the best, so hopefully he's listening. This is for him. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Roxy didn't like the Game of Thrones premiere, and everybody was okay with that. So we'll talk about that. We did a reaction to the Pinocchio trailer. That'll be on the Big Things Clips channel. And speaking of which, everybody, the Big Thing Clips channel, it's launched. It's ready to go. It's there. You can find it. It is formerly the Schmodown, formerly the Schmoes No channel, but it is going to be the Big Thing Clips channel. You can find clips from this show, from Sith Council, from Capes and Cows. It's all on that channel. And we're actually going to put the reaction to Pinocchio over there because that's the beauty of having that channel. If there's too much, like I already had my She-Hulk reaction on this channel yesterday, and then I also had Sith Council, and I didn't want it to eat up each other. So the Clips channel has the reaction on Pinocchio if you want to check it out. Also, if you haven't already, Big Thing Audio, head on over to Apple Podcasts. Help us out over there. Spotify, same thing. I mentioned this before, and I mentioned it on my video. I am officially going out on my own on September 1st. And when I left Collider, I was on my own, I think, like 2 months. And then I got a position over at Skybound, and I was there for the last 2.5 years. So I'm going out on my own. Scary, sure, but it's also very exciting. And it's a lot of great things that we're going to be doing on both these channels. And you can go on, for people, well, what happened to the Schmodown? Where's the Schmodown library? Schmodown Archive. You just type in Schmodown Archive, and the link's in the description. You can find the entire library, and the Spectacular on October 1st will be airing over there. So make sure you check that out. That's it, man. We got some other things. We'll go through Dark Horizons. We'll see if there's some other stories. Roxy's TV Time is going to debut today, and my brother kind of came up with this idea. We were talking about it when I was in Florida, and he's like, I really wish that there was a place where I could just have someone who's really knowledgeable in film that just telling me what the hell I should be watching over the weekend, because I would listen to that, and I would say, okay, I never heard about that show, because we assume too much in our space that everybody knows about all the shows, and they don't. So I want to put a thing out on the Clips channel that will have Roxy kind of talking about things that she's watched, things that she think it could be old, could be new, a bunch of different things. So we'll get into that in a little bit. All right, that's it. That's the show. See you later. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. This is the big thing. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is the big thing. I got this character dancing around. I got this character dancing around. I got a show. Roxy, I'm going to do the same thing I did to, what did he do? What happened?
What?
What are you laughing at? You laughing at me? Or who are you laughing at? You started laughing at What happened? What happened? What happened?
So I tell jokes from my head about everything you say in the intro.
Oh.
And then I was singing, because you said on my own, so I was
what the hell are you talking about?
So every intro that you do, I have responses to everything you say.
Yeah, sure.
And I tell them in my head, and they make me laugh.
Oh, so you made yourself laugh.
Well, you made me laugh. You were the I'm the layup, you the assist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how the show works. I'm the layup.
Cool.
I want to lay up.
Nice, great. Listen.
Okay. So far, so good. I think
going good here.
A seamless transition back for your girl Roxy.
Yeah.
Hello.
Are you hearing her all right in your
very loudly?
Is she very loud? How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm trying.
What I'm hearing from you guys is that I should shut
There
the
we go.
fuck
No,
up.
I have it better for me now.
No,
Okay,
he
much
had it
better.
turned.
I had Brett up too.
So you want to know some of my jokes or no?
Not right now.
Oh.
I wanted to actually. I wanted to show. One of the things that I actually wanted to show you was that I showed Steph this. I've never given you crap for being in your late 20s, early 30s. I've never given you crap for going out, having a good time, drinking, recovering. I saw some of your pictures at Comic-Con when you were really hungover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I will never, nor will I ever, because you know Tom Connolly, right, Brett?
Oh yeah.
Tommy sent me this.
I saw this and thought to myself, like, yes, bring back 31-year-old Kristian Harloff.
Look at that.
It's just so good.
I mean, who knows what was going on there?
Have you seen that trend on TikTok? Teenage.
Yeah, I saw
dirtbag?
you.
This is that, except in 30s.
I mean, look at that. Look, my beard was actually no gray.
What do you think you smell like there?
Weed.
Yeah, and I don't know.
And booze soup seeping through your pores, rum and coke.
Yeah.
Seeping through the old.
That's something. That's something. All right. Oops. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, so we've got some top. Let's get right into Game of Thrones. So you watched it?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to start with Brett. These are the reviews of Brett and Roxy, and then we'll talk about it on the side. But we're going to start with Brett. Brett, I don't want one sentence. I want an actual review. Ready? Here we go. Brett, review. What'd you think? Did you watch it in subtitles? Because that's what I did.
I should have.
Yes.
And I kept saying to myself, and I think you told me to do that, and we were halfway through it, and I didn't do it. But I thought it was okay. I mean, I wasn't a big Game of Thrones fan to begin with. I thought it was, of course, it's the first one. It was a little slow, I think. My favorite part was the brutality towards women. That was no. Because I know what Roxy and Steph were talking about yesterday.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, were they talking about it on SEN?
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it just didn't. I'm going to keep watching. I'm thinking it'll get more exciting. It was an establishing kind of a show. It was a preamble. It was yeah, whatever.
Roxy, go ahead. You loved it. Why?
I actually didn't dislike the show.
Okay.
I think that I'm going to end up really liking the show, but I think that my problem is that it's a fantasy show. I've talked about this before. I understand that people disagree with me. That's okay. It's an opinion on a TV show. I lost so many followers over
wild.
this. It's insane. This is my opinion.
How many would you say?
Over 100.
Wow.
Over 100. Okay. I watched it happen and was like, holy why did you guys follow me before?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a little mouse about my opinions, but I think that they could have had more fantasy elements that I like to fantasize about. And instead, it was so brutal, and not just the violence, but specifically I'm talking about, of course, the scene where the woman is where she gets killed.
Yeah.
I think that the whole thing could have been solved for me if you just cue her in on it, if you just say, this is what's happening, what do you want to do? I think that's not unrealistic of the times to ask.
She was going to die anyway.
But just, okay, say it to her. Say, listen, this is what's happening. Why do we have to deceive her?
Because she would have said no.
Why would she have said no? She said the birthplace is our battlefield. This is what we are born to do. Right. This is why we are here. You think she would have said no? I don't think that mother would have said no.
I do.
But it's not even the point, though. It's
right.
like that we deceived her, tricked her. It's her body. And just in 2022, I understand we don't get that political on this show, but I don't feel like watching it. I'm not saying it's not good. It just wasn't fun for me, so I didn't enjoy it.
Well, and I understand your point. And like you said, it's your opinion. I disagree with it, but it's your opinion. Right, so
but you don't even necessarily. You don't
I'll
disagree
tell you what,
that I have it. You have a different opinion.
Yeah,
right. I disagree with some of the points as far as the my opinion of that fantasy shouldn't have that in there.
I don't think that.
Oh, you don't.
I just would what I prefer in my fantasy.
Your preferred fantasy is not that.
Yes, exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, then that's a fair opinion to have, obviously, and I do think because this if Game of Thrones, if you're turning into Game of Thrones, whether it's 170, 200 years beforehand or not, Game of Thrones set themselves up from the beginning that, yes, it's a fantasy series, but it plays the same way. It's a mixture of, if you ever watched the HBO series Rome. Rome was based off of true history, and Rome was very brutal, and Rome was ahead of its time as far as things. But
wasn't built in a day.
No. Yeah. And Roxy's point of but in my fantasy, I'd rather not see that. But Game of Thrones established itself that this is what it could be. And so when you got that, I loved the first episode. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was such a great return to form for Game of Thrones because it set up the politics. I always wanted to know about the Targaryens. I never knew how much I wanted to know about them, and because it was always kind of put in there throughout the series, right? Yeah. Of Game of Thrones, of these little things, and it's so involved, and it feels like real history. So that's why when they do it this way, and how brutal it was in, the medieval times for us and all that, I like that it blends into fantasy for me, right? Now, as far as the decision, it was a very hard scene to watch. There's no doubt about it. But I thought that even though she did say this is our battlefield, and the juxtaposition between the actual battlefield of what the men are doing and then the battlefield for her inside of that room, the reason why I would push back on the fact that I think that she would have been like, no, let me make the decision here, save the baby. she told him in the previous scene, I think I'm done. I don't really want to do this. I think I'm good. She didn't really.
She said, I can't watch another baby die.
Yeah, she wanted to be.
What she
didn't want to be there anymore.
Right. She would have taken the death and saved the baby.
And he was put in this, and I think that what it showed though, and the reason why they did is that he was put in this position where it wasn't because what I really liked about it was in every Game of Thrones show that you've seen in the past, every Game of Thrones episode, and it's just the time period that it was in.
Made up time period.
Yeah. The time period of when it was made though is that everything was so like when it started, everybody was at each other's throats, and the Lannisters were kind of were in charge, and they were horrible people, and a lot of these people, Joffrey he was horrible. It starts off with a really good king. Like he's a good king. He's a good man who's put in this terrible position, and he's put in this position because they don't want a woman on the throne.
Yeah.
So he's put there, and he has to do all this stuff. And he's got to make this choice because in his head, he's not thinking about his daughter in that role. He's thinking, I gotta get a kid on there, and it's like, she's gonna die, and I can save the kid. Let's do it. And then they both died. And so it's like it was a horrible choice for him to make.
And he didn't like go, cut the baby out and walk away. Like that would have been like an evil king.
But she's talking to him, and he won't just say what's happening.
Because
it could have been so easy to just take one line to say it, and have her explain. And I like all the stuff you like too. I love the political angles. I love who's going to be on the throne. Is it now going to be the daughter or the brother? I loved all of that stuff. I even didn't have an issue with any of the fight scenes.
It was that scene.
It was that scene, and also the scene in which the right-hand man sends in his daughter to essentially
I was just going to say that.
The king, where I'm just like, listen, I don't think that this is the craziest thing I've ever seen on television. I don't feel like watching it. I don't feel like
that was disgusting to me.
Yeah, it was disgusting and to me unnecessary. And I understand it's not unnecessary to other people.
Yeah, it's not. I can understand disturbing. I don't think it's unnecessary because I think that again the way that the politics were set up in the past and the world that we lived in, the world that we've been in before, whether it was made up or not, those were set like the way that like the crazy shit that you saw. Don't you think we saw politics where the daughter could have by herself been like, you know what I want to do? This is my in to be with the king. All of that could have been. I know, but in this world, the way that it's pushed, it's been set up in the past. But what's going to happen the same way that what you've also seen in Game of Thrones is certainly look at what happened with like Stanza, right? Like she was Sansa. What did I Stanza? Tony Stanza. But Sansa, she was like such a different character from episode 1 to ultimately this power.
Incredible.
Personally.
She's my favorite character.
But pilot episode 1 gives it an opportunity to say, okay, here's this woman whose dad sent her in to do this thing, and look at where she is by season 3 episode thing. It gives an evolution, and I think that the rules were already set up this way, so I didn't have an issue with it.
It works.
Yeah.
You
just don't like it.
Yeah. So what's crazy is that inevitably the comments on this video and all videos are Roxy the fucking idiot. Did she not watch Game of Thrones?
I don't think it's an idiot.
I know you don't think that.
There are people they're going to say it's necessary, and that's you're saying it's unnecessary to you, and that's fine. I don't. Right. I'm on the fence. I didn't like it, but I didn't. Yeah. Again, it's the writing. I mean, it's something that
if it was inconsistent to me, I'd have a problem with him. But it's not inconsistent.
It was on brand for Game of Thrones,
and it was even less. Think about where society was for us 200 years ago. Yeah. That's where it is now, and think about that's 200 years before all that stuff, and so it's the evolution of where. So that's why I do think it's necessary to show like where it was as far as how things were run and how King's Landing was then. As opposed to what it ultimately became, and when he was given the throne, it was in a time of peace, and he has all this pressure to do the same and continue it on with the Targaryen name and all of that. So this is all this pressure. So I do think that to your question of like why didn't he tell her? Because how many times you've been in
not a question.
Not a question. Excuse me.
It's just my preference.
No. But you did ask a question. Your question was why not just write that one line in there to tell her. Like, hey, this is what's happening. That was the question that you had proposed.
I think they had an opportunity to do that they should have taken.
And I think that the reason why I didn't have a problem with him not doing that is because I think the character very much should have done that. But I think inside of the writing, him not doing that, is him being in this place of what the fuck do I do at this point? Like, oh yeah, no, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, and it's not gonna be fine. He's gonna lose both of them, and he doesn't know what to do. And he's not doing it like you said, Brett. He's not doing it because he is because he's evil and he wants power and he wants to have a son. He's doing it because he thinks that's what he's supposed to do, and he's trying to calm his wife down. He absolutely should have said something, but he didn't. And to me, that's actually a testament to the writing that he didn't. Sure, he should have, but he didn't. I like that. I think it worked.
I think that,
and she could have survived it. He said there is it is a chance of her dying because it can lose a lot of blood. But I mean, wasn't a cesarean based off of Caesar, which was
it was like 50-50 though. They said, did you watch the after thing where the creators talked about it? And like I thought it was pretty telling. He was going to lose both of them anyway. Is what they said. Like and
oh yeah, if he just let her continue.
Well, both. No, both. It looked like he was going to, because look. He lost the boy.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah, if he said the doctor or whatever said that if she continues to do it, they're both gonna die. So
here's what I think that it comes down to. I understand that you think that he should have done it. I think that nobody would have batted an eye and been like, "That's not realistic to the time."
Yeah.
Had he been like, "Listen, this is what's happening," and she had been like, "Kill me, take my baby," nobody would have been like, there's no way she would have done that.
Right.
So they had an opportunity to do something different. They didn't choose that opportunity.
And you wish that they
And
would.
I wish they did.
I mean, I don't think that's a unfair thing for you to say. As for how many times whether you look at something a lot lighter in Obi-Wan, but like, I wish they would have went that way. So I don't think it's. It's
also not my show. So
yeah,
they're allowed to do whatever they want.
Of course, it's just the things that you would have liked to see, and I think it's fair for everyone to say what they would have liked to see. It doesn't mean like again, there are things that happen in Obi-Wan that I was like, it would have been so much better if they did that. The other people would go, well, no, I like that. I thought that worked fine, and it's ultimately in the creators who can say it. But I like that we're all on the. It just shows the difference between Twitter in general, right, and friends sitting at a table. Like, your opinion's your opinion. I feel like the way that they presented the show worked really well.
Completely. And people who are tweeting me like, "You're calling me a horrible person." What?
No one said that.
I think that anybody who liked this show is completely valid. It's really well done. It's beautifully acted. It's an interesting story.
Yeah, they always think that you're coming after them when you're not. You're just saying it for you.
Liking it makes a lot of sense. I had issues.
Exactly. Well, but I will tell you though, I don't think it's going to get any softer moving forward. No. So you might.
But I do think women will get their comeuppance a little bit, and I'm ready for some of that.
And they did. And they did in the original series.
Right. Absolutely.
And
I didn't love the pilot of Game of Thrones.
Okay. See that? Yeah. So I really
love the show.
Yeah.
I didn't love that pilot.
I loved this episode, man. I really did, and I was like, because it did start a little slow, but I liked that it started slow, and I liked because it
kind of had to.
It had to because it's like this is who's who. Matt Smith steals the episode.
So effing good, dude.
So good in that episode. And then Rhys Ifans is real good, too, in the episode.
Also, I loved the aspect of Matt Smith where, like, he's mass murdering and dismembering all these people, but they're rapists.
Yeah.
So it's like, you want to be like, this guy is gruesome, but then I'm like,
Well, that's what I loved about his character, because you automatically, because you've been down the Game of Thrones route before, you're like, okay, here's the new Joffrey. He's nowhere close to Joffrey. He had
reason.
He has a reason. He's got a way to, and that conversation that he has with his brother at the end, he's just like, yeah, let me be your hand because you're weak, dude, but I'm not.
Yeah.
And he loves his family.
Yeah.
But he just does things in a way that you're like, I don't know about his methods.
He reminds me of Littlefinger more.
Yeah, but he's not it. But
not as evil.
Yeah.
No,
but Littlefinger did it behind your back. This guy tells you right to your face, and like I love, and I love the line where he's like, "Did you say that about my son?" And I was like, "Oh, he's gonna lie." He's like, "Nah, yeah, we all grieve differently."
Yeah.
Like, I love the character. The character's like so, like I don't necessarily agree with all his methods. And the other thing I loved that in the battle when he's not like this indestructible force. He loses. And I was like, okay, here's a Game of Thrones moment. When the guy's turned, he's gonna, after the guy that's beating him,
he's
gonna kill him. Me too.
And he goes, he walks away.
But I looked on IMDb very quickly and saw that dude's in 10 episodes. So I was like, yes, the hottie lives. Let's go.
Well, no. Don't get fooled. They did something very smart on IMDb. You look at the list. Every character is listed as 10 episodes.
Don't mess with me, Kristian.
I loved that they did that. I think that is so smart. I thought the same thing because I thought, wait a minute, they listed there's the girl who plays the younger version of the Queen, and then the other one's not in it, but she's not in it yet, and she's listed as 10 episodes. There's other episodes.
Because I know you're going to be killing off your favorites
because you don't want to know because that's a very smart thing to do, because there's going to be people who are dying. You're like, oh, they must die because like Roxy just did. Roxy just checked it out, and so I love that they did that, and I said, You smart bastard.
that
I
is
wish more
smart.
people would do that. That's really, really good idea to do that.
You know what I wish that we had also, which
Yeah.
again, I'm sure we will get, and I can hear you guys already, but I want more dragons.
Oh, we're gonna get that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I know.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
had it in the first scene, and then there's that moment, and I was just thinking, wow, the parts that I'm holding on to and why I'm going to continue watching the show is because I'm ready for, I want House of the Dragon,
Yeah.
bro. Give me
Yeah.
dragons.
Yes,
That's
for
in
sure.
my fantasy. Oh, there's so many dragons everywhere.
Dragons fucking all over the. But no.
Mile High Club on the
Dragons
dragons.
just
Let's
fucking
go.
in the sky.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Dragon Fucking. I'm Carl Edwards.
We didn't see the guy's wife, did we? That he
Which
keeps
one?
describing as hideous.
Oh, not
Oh,
yet. Not
no.
Smith's.
I always feel so bad for the people
Who they cast.
It's just,
Unless you give him makeup.
yeah, and I'm sure like and still you're making so much money you don't even care. Like
Right,
what does it matter?
right.
But it's just
Oh,
you're
unless-
leading up for me to think of somebody grotesque.
Unless it turns
looking.
out that she's really hot and he just has a terrible eye.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great too.
See, they've got a lot of opportunities.
Got opportunities. But yeah, I loved the episode right now. And I'll tell you the other thing. Last time we spoke that we didn't really talk about Roxy is She-Hulk, right?
Yeah.
And I think I called you and told you how much I enjoyed the first episode. Then you watched it. What did you think?
Of the first,
First episode.
good. Thought the first was good.
Loved the second episode.
I love 2, 3, and 4 way better than I
Oh,
loved
funny.
one.
See, I loved 1 and 2. Didn't love 3 and 4.
Oh, I love 4 the best, I think, and then 2.
There's all I'll say is this, without a spoiler: there's a drunk character that pops in that was so out of place. She does a great job, but it's so Thor: Love and Thunder.
I think that what the show, why 1 was just solid for me, not the best, was because it was a little like I wanted to get to what we were doing.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to be the setup. So I was like, I already wrote all of this in my mind.
Sure.
You know, it wasn't like, oh, whoa, what's happening here? But it's still amazing because Tatiana Maslany is so effing
She's
good.
really good in it.
And
She's
their
really good.
chemistry is awesome.
Yeah.
And I always think like we don't see many platonic friendships between men and women
Yeah.
on camera, and because they're cousins, obviously, we get to explore that, and I think that's really great.
I also think it's great where so Vivian, my oldest, is now we're doing an MCU watch because she's never seen it before. So we watched first Iron Man. She loved it.
That's what you started with?
Yeah, because I guess in timeline you could start with Captain America or Captain Marvel.
But you kind of want to recreate your experience.
I asked her. I said, "How do you want to do it?" I said, "Do you want to watch this for timeline, or do you want to watch them how they came out in the theater?" And she said she wanted to watch how they came out in the theater. Although I'm probably gonna. She's really looking forward to Black Widow. So I'm after we get to Civil War, I'll probably have her watch Black Widow right afterwards because I think that movie doesn't play very well. It's just
I
like,
get that.
They
Yeah.
just kind of gave. She deserved it, but they just kind of gave Scarlett Johansson a movie. It's like, oh yeah, you deserve a movie, but it's like, well, we're gonna make it after Civil War. It's like, yeah, but that time is gone, and it's
So-
like it played less. But anyway,
What's your speed with her?
what do you mean?
Like, are you guys a couple movies a week or what?
Oh
what do
no
you
no
expect?
it depends. Now that Top Gun Maverick just came out on digital, I don't know. We're gonna probably have to take a break, but I'll tell you, we watched that, and then we watched Hulk like a day later. I love that movie, man. It's such an underrated movie.
It's very good.
I love it. And so, but the reason I bring that up is because I had just watched She-Hulk, and you have Blonsky in there, Abomination, and he is significantly different from the Incredible Hulk 2008 film to this. Like, it's a very different character, and I didn't mind that because I think of the way that they presented it and how he was, and she ultimately, if the episode's up on TV at this point, so she's got to represent him, which I thought was an interesting twist, and I love the idea of it. Was it episode 2 when she talks to Bruce about? Because I've watched 4, so I can't
I
remember.
know, I'm the same as you.
She talks to Bruce about representing him. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember if
think
it's
so.
2 or 3, but
The phone call?
Yeah, the phone call's
Yeah,
great. There's
yeah.
a joke that is said inside of it about, and this is, I'm going to give a spoiler real quick of, I think it's episode 2. Just fast forward through this.
Is
If you haven't seen
episode
it.
2 not available for?
It is now by the
yeah.
time we
okay.
released this. But so because Edward Norton was cast as the Hulk, and then he was famously after he didn't get along with them and he left, right? And Ruffalo was cast. But so Tatiana Maslany has a conversation with him and says like, I'm going to represent him, and I wanted to tell you. And he's like, look, it was a long time ago, and I'm literally a different person.
Yeah.
And I thought it was such a great joke.
It was an awesome one.
Such a great
and
joke.
also, I thought, I think that this is for a younger audience. Some of the people aren't going to even understand that
Yeah.
joke, but it was for that
It was,
moment
yes.
was for us, and
Yes.
I really appreciated that. I think it's fun. Like a lot of people are really down on it because it's so much lighter than some of the things that we've seen. I'm really enjoying
So much lighter. I mean, lighter than Thor: Love and Thunder.
lighter than the TV shows that we've seen so far.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think.
Hawkeye was pretty.
I guess this is one of the lightest, but
Yeah.
I think light's a really nice
It's a
word.
comedy.
Yeah.
It's Ally
What a
McBeal.
stupid
Yeah.
thing to be mad at.
No, but you know what's funny though is I've seen for the most part, especially because there were a lot of people who what I have seen. I mean, yes, there's always going to be people screaming and yelling about things no matter what, because there's a pocket of people out there that just it doesn't matter what it is. Like if they have set their mind that they're going to hate it or they're going to get clicks because they hate it, they're going to keep hating it, right? But then there's other people, and I'll include myself in this, that saw the trailer and went, oof, I don't know. I told you about this. Like, I saw the trailer, and I'm like, I like her, but God, that trailer, the humor's not working for me, and that CGI looks terrible. Both of those things, for me, turned out to be untrue. I think she's brilliant in it, which I was expecting, but I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I thought the writing, Jessica Gao wrote the first two. I thought her writing,
What do I know her from?
not sure, but
Oh.
I know that her writing to me was more solid than 3 and 4 in my opinion. But that being said, like I think there's a lot of people that I did see that said I felt similar to you. I didn't like what I saw in the trailers, and then because what I think the show does very well is establishes exactly what it is, and it doesn't fool you the way that Thor has over the last couple of years. Because and like again, that last movie to me, I haven't watched. I think it's coming back on for Disney
You're gonna
Disney Day.
rewatch?
I'm gonna try to watch it with my wife because she hasn't seen it. She likes the Thor movies, so I'm curious if
I think you're gonna like it less.
I probably will. Although I know it's coming, and I'm curious to how she deals. Because she's not I mean, she likes the movies, but she's
Yeah.
not invested in it, like and knows like the whole lore. She's like, right. Oh yeah. So after when they come out, it's just kind of like it's like fast food to her.
Yeah.
So
I tried to get Lonnie to watch Hulk with me, and I laughed at her because she goes, "Yeah, I don't like this."
She-Hulk?
Yeah. I was like, I don't like this He-Man storyline.
Oh,
what's the He-Man story?
No, she was calling
and I go-
She-Hulk He-Man.
And I go,
Oh.
I go, good, because this is the Hulk. And she's like, shut. I meant why did I say?
Yeah, see,
He-Man?
that's the one. I'm not going to call her on this one and make it because
No.
I got her to watch the boys. Where are you guys at with the boys?
God, did we finish the second season?
I think you told me you did.
I think we did. Yeah, we had a break with the.
I can't wait
my
till
brother
it
in
starts
town,
season
but-
3.
Yeah.
so good.
It's the
but
first episode, right?
You said it's your least favorite season, though.
But that's not to
it's
say
still great. Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
to say it's not great. It's a great
Who
season.
knows
Just
if I had
to go through.
binged it like you, if it had been mine.
Yeah.
But like,
It just kept you on board, like every episode. No, it's
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than really good. It's great.
Yeah.
I just think 1 and 2. A lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people think that 3 is the best, and then followed by 1 and 2. Some people think 1, then 3, then 2. I'm one of the few people that think 2 is just out of this
We
world.
burned through that one faster
Burned
than one.
through it. I loved 2.
Yeah.
Loved 2. Really loved 2. But anyway, people were always kind of transitioning, and people were asking me on about Anthony Starr, about what I want to see him do in whether it's Marvel or Star Wars. I don't want to see him play a bad guy. What? It's not Anthony.
no, when you said what you want to see him do, I thought me.
I mean, why can't you say that?
Just moving forward from that.
No, you
Keep
should.
it pushing. Keep
Hey,
it
man.
pushing.
It's my favorite. Like that's what people are like, well, how can it's a stereotype. Somebody gets shit if a guy says that. The other day I said, how about I said something
Sexy
about
ass.
sexy ass was it Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then you had to.
Sandra Bullock does have a sexy ass and is a sexy ass.
Let me tell you. I said I've said,
Demolition Man.
CDB.
not Demolition Man.
That
I'll tell you
was
this. No.
the-
So I'm gonna say one that you never expect. me
My
to say.
awakening.
Miscongeniality.
Lake House, and I'll tell you why.
Really?
I never saw it.
Not the movie. So I just had seen the movie, but we went to the premiere.
Ah.
And we go to the after party. It was a small. This wasn't for press. I wasn't pressed at the time.
What year is this?
It's got to be 2004, right? 2003, 2004. Just Google what time. What year did that movie come out? Does anybody? No one's looking at their phones.
We're not supposed to.
No, I know. But one time I ask you to do it, you don't do it. But I'm going to guess and say 2003.
Okay.
And so it was 2003, and so I was working at Village Roadshow at the time.
It was 2006,
Was it really?
and you were working at.
I was not working at
Okay.
Roadshow. I was working at Silver Pictures, so I got invited by Village Roadshow. Is what happened. It was 2006. Holy shit. Okay, well, so I was.
This is it, right?
Yeah, have you never seen that movie?
No.
Oh wow, you love that movie. I was in my prime. We'll say 2006. Oh shit! So this was after. Yes. Okay. So 2006.
Like I could have made a move. Whoa.
And she was married at the time, but I'm gonna not tell you that I didn't want to. I walked in to that. I mean, normally you see a celebrity like I walked into this after party. It was a small after party where only a certain people. It wasn't like one of those big ones where everybody was allowed in. And so I'm standing there with a buddy of mine, and then we're on the dance floor, and we look over, and there's just this woman who's cutting in on the dance floor. And it's like, when you see, whether it's a guy or girl, someone who can really dance, like sexy, you're like, don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be a creep about it, but you're looking and you're just like, and it was Sandra Bullock, and she's just dancing. And I'm like, fuck you. Right. And so so your Anthony Starr is well received. I understand.
Honestly, I've got, it's been a very long time for your Girl Rocks. Everybody right now is well received. It's very, I'm receiving a lot.
Right. Yeah, but but that's also a choice, right?
Yeah.
Why was that so hard to figure out? Wait, while you figure that out, I want the audience to figure out why they're not. Oh, that's not it. Why are they not? Nope, that's not it either. Why are you not using Storyblocks? That's what you got to figure out. Why aren't you using Storyblocks? Have you started to use Storyblocks? Have you tried to use Storyblocks? Why aren't you using it? So Storyblocks, for those people who don't know, it's a great tool in general for people, like for creators. If you're not using their system, they basically have have you tried it yet?
I haven't.
So for people who don't know what it is, it's for video. If you're using it, it is the most effective way in general to capture an audience's attention, because you're always challenged as creators you have to use video content. You need higher quality. It involves more voices in the process and distributing on more platforms than ever before. And you got to meet output demands, time, budget, knowledge, creative inspiration, passion, burnout, mental health, the whole 9 yards. And it ain't easy. So what Storyblocks is able to do is it gives creators an opportunity to do some more stuff on their platform. And they have an unlimited all-access plan that gives you unlimited downloads of over 1 million assets in their library. You try out multiple options quickly, and you find the perfect fit so you can create more and spend less. And it exists to help you bring all your stories to life without sacrificing your vision. They have an ever-growing library. It's demand-driven. They're constantly optimizing and adding to their 4K HD footage. So what I would suggest is go and get that unlimited all-access plan, and that is storyblocks.com/bigthing. One more time, storyblocks.com/bigthing. I'm waiting for Luke over at the Galaxy Geeks to tell me that he's tried this, because I feel like he's making all these great things on his channel. And if you do, Luke, put it in the comment section. I want to know what you've thought of it so far. All right. So let's move. We're going to do something new here, and I'm going to transition over here. We're going to do it. I think it's on this. Nope, that's not that.
What are we going to do with that, Kristian?
Who knows? Who knows? That's probably right after the Sandra Bullock night, I'll tell you that. Where the hell did I put it? Oh, it's here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a brand new series that we're going to do. And this is Watch This. It is a television. My brother came up with this idea when I was in Florida, and he said, hey, I just really wish there was stuff that I knew what to watch on streaming and things I had never heard of before, and give things a shot. And maybe the stuff I've heard of, and maybe the stuff that I haven't heard of. Maybe the stuff I watched, maybe it's not. But either way, Roxy Striar is the TV expert on this crew. So when she's on the show on Thursdays, we're going to do a little bit of a TV time, and it's called Watch This. So let's get to Roxy Striar. Roxy, tell the audience, what should they be watching? Why? What are some other things? Go ahead.
All right, here are things that you have to be watching right now. If you want to keep up with the conversation, you have to watch House of the Dragon. Whether you love it, whether you don't like it, everybody's talking about it right now, and you need to have that water cooler conversation. The Rehearsal, it's on HBO. It just ended. It had its finale. Do you
Everyone's
guys know?
talking. Yes,
Yeah.
tell me. Give me a little detail on
Fielder
it.
show.
Yeah,
So
Brett likes it too.
if you liked Nathan For You, then this is next level.
Yeah.
Essentially, what happens is this guy Nathan Fielder goes in, and any hard conversation or life decision you want to make, he has you rehearse it before you actually do it. It is so cringeworthy. If you love cringe television like I do, those kind of shows that you're watching like this between your hands because you can't look at the TV, but you also can't look away. This is perfect, and it was just picked up for a season 2,
Nice.
so you know it's worth your time getting into. I can't explain this show enough. Like there's no words I could use except for just go watch it.
Right.
And if you don't like the first episode, stop watching because you won't, trust me, you won't like the ending. It just finally finished, so you can binge through the whole thing, which is great.
What is it on again? I'm sorry.
It's on HBO.
HBO.
So it's got that HBO money, honey.
Right.
Which
And
is
so
very
it's two
important.
HBO Max shows back to back. I like that.
Yeah, we got some good HBO stuff. But this one's coming from Hulu. I loved the finale of season 2 of Only Murders in the Building.
Okay.
I didn't think they were going to stick the landing. We finally just got the finale. So if you were waiting to binge the entire thing, I think now is the time to do it. Plus, they just announced that season 3 is going to star Paul Rudd.
Oh,
who
wow.
I love.
Yes.
So you have to binge season 2
And
in
this
order
is
to
Steve
get to
Martin,
season
Martin
3.
Short, and
Selena Gomez, yeah.
Right.
Plus also Tina Fey,
Okay.
Amy Schumer. There's
wow.
so many guest stars. Obviously, because we've got legendary comedians on the show, they're able to pull in whoever they want.
Right.
Cara Delevingne was on this last season, who is not somebody I'm usually writing home about, but she was excellent on
Really?
this
Okay.
show. And the first half of the season, I was like, I don't know if they're going to stick this. And then by the end, I was like, oh, there we go. That's the show that I really love.
Okay, so that's 2 HBO Max, 1 Hulu. What's next?
This is something I don't know that you guys have heard of, but maybe
The
it's
Bachelor.
on. Yeah, The Bachelor. That's a great show too. Yeah. It's on Netflix. Did you guys watch I Just Killed My Dad?
I saw.
Oh, boy, Kristian.
So I saw the little. You see 75 things pop up with them. I saw
Yeah.
that, but what's the show?
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
it about?
So this is a docuseries that's
right.
3 parts on Netflix about a guy who shot 3 times and killed his father. In the beginning of the show, you believe this is an arrogant boy who shot his dad because spoiled or whatever.
Yeah.
Throughout the docuseries, it completely changes your mind. I won't give anything away, but my jaw was on the floor. You find out what's happened to this kid, what the dad and his situation was. And I binged through this in one night. I started at 3 a.m. and I stayed up until 6 a.m. to watch this entire thing because I could not stop. It was so incredibly disturbing, but also ridiculously well done. Netflix, this is their jam right now. These docuseries that make you just like want to cry and die and can't stop watching at the same time. So definitely watch this. And then my sleeper pick that I feel like not enough people are watching right now, which is an FX show, but you can watch it on Hulu if you have Hulu.
Oh man,
is Reservation Dogs. We're
yeah.
we're in
yeah.
season 2.
is that Taika?
No, that's the pirate show.
Oh, okay. So what's this? What's
This
the
Reservation Dogs, it's about indigenous people on a reservation, but it's a comedy. People at the beginning, people were kind of saying it has similar vibes to Atlanta, which I think is an interesting way of putting it. I think it's just like an offbeat comedy about Native American people, and there's like some weird creative choices about their ancestors and how they speak to their ancestors. It's very funny. I thought season 1 was a bit of a slow burn, but season 2, there's moments where I'm like crying. I'm laughing so hard. It's really good. It's an ensemble piece, and I think if you're looking for something a little offbeat that you haven't tried yet, this is a really good one for you. And then shows that I'm definitely going to be watching this week that you guys have to be watching too that are coming out new. There's a show Mo coming to Netflix that I've been on the lookout for because it was. Did you watch Rami?
No.
Okay, the Rami Youssef show is hysterical. You have to go watch Rami. But one of the stars of that show, Rami and him teamed up on this. If you like Dave or any of those comedian standalone shows, this is about this guy Mo, and I guess that he is a Palestinian refugee, but it's a comedy, and it's got to be like same as Rami in a really strange tone. Also, Mike is coming to Hulu. If you ask Mike Tyson, he probably doesn't want you to watch it.
It's a series, right?
I know.
The
It's a
trailer
series.
looked great, but yeah.
It's by the same writer that did I, Tonya.
Okay.
So if you like I, Tonya, I think
Yeah.
this is interesting.
But just to let people know, so Tyson said that they did not have his approval for this.
Yeah, I know. It's on my list because in the same way that I watched Pam and Tommy,
Yeah.
and it was hard because Pamela Anderson was so vocal about
Yeah.
not wanting people to watch it, I am interested to see what this story is. And if Mike Tyson wants to put out some kind of rebuttal like Pamela Anderson is doing, then I'll be sure to watch that as well. So
Was Pamela Anderson doing an actual TV show as well?
yeah, she's
wow.
doing something that after they did Pam and Tommy, Pam was like, no, I'm going to be doing that. So that's going to be on Hulu. Watch at your own risk, or Mike Tyson might come and get you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, on your list too is Andor. How are we not
yeah.
going to put it on our list? Disney
course.
Plus. It's my only Disney Plus show that I threw on here, but you guys already know what it is.
Yeah.
Star Wars, let's go. That trailer was sick.
Yeah.
I'm ready for
What
Andor.
about Cobra Kai?
Oh, I I love Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai's before that, right?
I
Cobra
love
Kai's on
Cobra Kai.
September 9th.
No, that's after.
Uh-uh. Cobra Kai September 9th.
Yeah, but
and
isn't Andor?
They moved Andor. Andor's the end of September now.
Oh, Cobra Kai then fine, yeah.
Oh wait, I'll do this for you. Hold on.
Then I'll keep you
So that
guys
was it.
posted on what else to watch next week.
All right,
watch
so
this.
So watch this with Roxy Striar. I like that segment.
What are you gonna watch?
Out of those?
Yep. Anything?
Well, I mean, Game of Thrones for sure.
Yep.
You
You didn't try the rehearsal?
They almost sold me on it last week.
Oh,
and then but I went back because Brett was talking about the other show what's the other one called?
Nathan for you.
So I watched a couple of bits on YouTube, and there was some like the one where he hit, what does he call it? Dumb Starbucks?
Yeah, Dumb Starbucks. I drove
hilarious.
past Dumb Starbucks before I even knew about this show.
Amazing.
And there were people lined up around. I didn't know what this was, and then I saw the show years later. It was like something
hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, it was so funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Dumb Starbucks. In fact, because he's very smart.
And I remember it being on the news.
Yeah,
the footage of
they-
him on
they-
the
they
news.
show the
I saw
news.
that live on the news.
I think,
hilarious.
Christian, I think you have to watch the rehearsal.
Yeah.
Like, I can't picture you in a world that you have not seen that
Well, I
show.
love Borat, and I loved, like what
And you
Sacha
love-
Cohen did. Yeah.
Didn't you like Summer Heights High or the Chris Lilly? Was that his name? Chris Lilly?
Not sure.
The Aussie guy. Oh, you didn't watch any of those?
I don't think so.
Okay, I gotta make a whole list.
Yeah,
of
there's
stuff
certainly. I
that's
mean, like I
that.
said, I mean, murders in the building. Is that what it's called?
Only Murders in the
Only murders in the
Building.
building. So I watched same story that I've said in this a million times over. My wife and I watched like 2 episodes, and then she bailed on it. So that was the end of it.
We bailed on it, but not purposely. We just kind of got
happens.
Yeah,
something else came up.
I liked
and
what I had seen, but then, like I said, it's just like things. And plus the fact that I'm covering so much right now with
Yeah.
stuff that I want to like. I'm covering She-Hulk right now. I'm covering Game of Thrones. I'll be covering Lord of the Rings.
I'm sad you just told me Andor moved. I was really looking forward to watching that at the end of this
I
week.
like that it moved though because
right.
Because a lot of because as you look at what was going to happen, She-Hulk and Andor were going to be both on Wednesday, and then they moved She-Hulk to Thursday, which is a smart move. And that way, even when Andor comes out, even though She-Hulk will still be on the air, they're not piling up on each other. Game of Thrones comes out on Sundays. When do you remember when Lord of the Rings is that on Fridays?
Is that
thought
what Amazon's drop date is?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what day, but anyway, but Lord of the Rings is going to come out on a separate day. So you have all that stuff, and then the silly Netflix model of dumping everything in one shot, and then they're going to have Cobra Kai is just going to come out on the 9th. And I don't know. Look, Cobra Kai will do well because Cobra Kai has its audience, and I'll certainly be watching it. But it's also dropping on September 9th, which also happens to be D23, which there's going to be so much that is coming out on those both days. The animation panel and live action panel for Disney on
Wow.
and then on Friday, and then on Saturday, you've got the Lucasfilm and Marvel and
Damn.
Fox. too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
it's
Yeah.
going to be. Are you going?
No.
No,
No.
by choice.
No.
No. Okay, fair enough.
Well, good.
It's very
Are
vague.
you going? No,
Yeah.
I have no.
Did you apply?
No.
Oh, well then that's your own fault, right?
So that would you call that by choice?
Yeah,
Then okay, by choice.
yeah, by choice. You didn't apply because you just didn't think about it.
Yeah, like that's not as much my jam.
Oh, well, that's not true though.
Oh.
Yeah.
And because
You're wrong.
let me ask you a question.
I value your
Let me-
opinion,
let me-
but you're wrong.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. You like Andor?
Yeah, no,
You like She-Hulk?
You're completely right, but like I came up in Warner Brothers DC space, so
Right.
I just don't think of Disney as my jam as much. Even though I watch a lot of the stuff,
Yeah.
like I don't usually cover as much Star Wars or Marvel, even though I like it.
I get it.
Cool.
Yeah, good for you.
When is it?
You just lost 100 followers.
When, are you
September-
going?
It's
I don't
September-
know.
No,
By choice?
He's asking me if he's going. No, you're not going.
When is it? September what?
September 9th and September 10th.
Oh, September. Christian.
What happened? What's wrong?
Always Lola is playing at the TCL on September 10th, and you're not going to come again, are you?
I won't be there for that one.
Brett?
Yeah, I'll be around.
Yeah, so
What's
there you go.
Ask them on air to
What's the
force them to
TCL?
go. Chinese Theater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to be. Yeah, someone did that to me yesterday.
So you could have come to Marina, which is near you, or
Oh.
now you can go to Hollywood.
That's right. Coy did it. Coy did it for me. Coy
did what?
He did the TCL thing again.
Oh.
And he's like, oh yeah, I'm seeing. I forget what he's seeing or something. Or no, was it? I can't remember. But somebody did it.
Coy texted me back after a month. It's not relevant to any of you guys.
He's just not. He's not the best at text. He's not the worst though. He's not the worst.
No.
Kalinowski sucks at texting. He sucks.
Yep.
I was out of town for the premiere in the Marina. So
Yeah,
that
I was
was
at a screening.
In state.
yeah.
Elvis.
I was out of state.
Elvis.
Was it?
I still haven't seen Elvis.
Were you
We were in
Elvis?
Santa Barbara.
Oh, yeah.
I'm upset, by the way, and as I look at you, we've missed 2 screenings together. First one your fault, second one my fault. You missed Beast.
Was that good?
Nah, you didn't miss anything.
Dodged a bullet.
You didn't miss anything. It was fine. It wasn't
Yeah.
like horrible. It just wasn't fine. And boy, I mean, the out of the theater did fine. The regular review, ate a bag of shit. It like did like maybe not even 3,000 views. One of the worst reviews like viewed that I ever have done. So that ate a bag of shit. The out of the theater did fine, but you know, and I thought it was going to be good because I like Idris Elba. I thought it was going to be a kind of Ghost in the Darkness.
You can get it.
You see?
Yeah.
You're ready.
Oh my God,
you're ready.
Get it.
You're ready. All right. Listen,
Nice.
he's a sexy man. I understand.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
But can he dance like Sandra Bullock? I don't think so.
I bet so.
No chance.
There's nothing Idris can't do. Don't
I
you
don't
dare. Oh, gosh.
Sandra Bullock doesn't talk enough about her dancing. I'll tell you that much.
How should she go about talking about her
Just
dancing?
every
She
day.
should do it more. She should do it more in movies.
Oh,
She'd get a TikTok.
Next
One of those
movie.
TikToks
She
and
should
do
a TikTok
dances.
dance. Just do dances. It's fucking
Hey,
crazy.
Sandra. You should get one of those.
Put another dance one on.
You should get one of those TikToks.
does she have a TikTok?
Get a little.
I don't know.
TikTok.
Check it out.
No, I'm sure she does.
Just go up to her something. Hey, Sandra. You should get a TikTok.
Get a little TikTok, will you? For what? For
What?
me.
For dancing.
Yeah, so I can just do that.
That's a Gucci. Yeah, I went up to Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
I told her, get a little TikTok.
I said,
Oh, good.
you do this. You know. So Sandra Bullock
Yeah.
said she should TikTok.
What's going on with him these days?
She
He's-
saw me. I mean,
I'll tell you the funniest thing.
on
is
one.
He was hammered at the comedy show and in such a great way. It was hilarious. The stuff that his girlfriend was not thrilled with it, but it was hilarious. Anyway, jumping back to
Yes.
the other thing that we missed was Barbarian.
yeah, that looked interesting.
So I hear great things about it, and then even a producer of the film who I used to work with at Warner Brothers, Roy Lee, had reached out, and he's like, "Are you going to see it anytime soon?" Like, "Oh, I'm actually seeing it tonight." So I'm very curious to tell you what I think, and I would tell him honestly if I didn't like it, but I hear great things. But then my daughter got ill, and she's okay now, but she was not feeling good, so I was like, I knew I had to make the decision because we wound up taking her to the freaking urgent care.
Oh, man.
And yeah, all of it. So she was
Oh,
like,
no, what
She
happened?
was like throwing up like 7 times in the day.
Oh,
She
my
threw up 7.
God.
Like, we didn't know what the hell was going on.
Oh, there's a stomach flu going around.
She didn't. It was weird because the youngest had a bug. One day kicked it.
Yeah.
Done. And then we're like, oh, okay, well, the oldest got it. And then it was like, oh, she's just getting her ass kicked a little bit. And then she just started like throwing up. And we're like, and then it kept happening. And then I had this screening, and my wife's like, please don't go.
Yeah, that's.
She's like, please don't
You
go.
don't
And
want to deal with that alone.
And sometimes when my wife's just like having a rough one with the kids, I'm like, I gotta cover this thing. I gotta go. It's like if it's just like one of those days, I'm like, no, I can't leave. I can't leave her like this. And then I went up putting the little one to bed. She took the oldest one to urgent care, and it was but she's good. She's all right now. But anyway, hence why I couldn't see Barbarian. Anyway, let's get to. I want to do.
I've heard good things, and they send out so many.
Barbarian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they send out so many screenings for that,
Yeah.
and I missed them all.
There's one more. There's one more,
When?
and I think it's like right before it comes out.
What day of the week?
I think it's the 6th.
What day of the week?
I don't know. But it's the day before the 7th.
Do you think
let's
it's
see.
after the 5th?
I don't have an answer for you on that one. After the 5th, it's after the 5th, yes. Yes, so I do have an answer for you. All right, let's get to, I want to do some
What?
news, some other news things, because there's some news. So what do you want to talk? We'll talk about Pinocchio. We just talked about it, right? We just saw, we're going to have the trailer reaction. It probably already has aired. So Disney is doing this thing so for people who don't know, the Disney Plus put out a Robert Zemeckis, Tom Hanks, doing a live action version of, well, I guess live action. If Bibiani right now is like twitching. It's live action where a lot of the people are live action, then they're putting the CGI.
That was Lion King, right? Where he just lost his
Yeah,
shit.
we had that whole thing,
Yeah.
Collider Live. But did you get mad at me about the Collider Live thing the other day?
What'd you do?
I just said I hated it. You knew that though.
No.
Yeah.
Where'd you say that?
I said it with Greg. I said the same thing. I said nothing against.
Oh no, you hated it, and
But nothing.
It kills me.
I know, but I
loved it so much.
I hated it so much. It's
well, the environment was not ideal.
Yeah, I said I started it by, and it was even a fan who said like, he said shaking my head. I remember when you said that when you started Collider Live that you said it was it was as good as when you did a Toad Hop. I'm like, yeah, that's when I first started, and I thought that vibe was going to carry over. It's the one, and it's not. And I said this, and I say this with you in the room. Loved working with all you guys, you and Riley and Josh and everybody, and Cody and Alex and everybody. Loved working with all you guys. That never had a problem with any single person there that I worked with. If I could remove one show in my resume, it would be that one.
How come?
It's a dark time in general. I just don't. I don't like it. I don't.
You don't like the quality of the show that we did?
Well, the quality of the show, we were stuck in a little box, and I don't like the studio that we were in. I don't like there were certain times when there was like, I think that we were kind of asked to talk about things when we didn't want to talk about things, and we had to structure things a certain way. We weren't able to kind of do it this way, the way that we wanted to. I wish that if, in hindsight, I probably, and again, nothing but respect to everyone that I worked with there. I probably would have just stayed as a freelancer on Collider Live and not taken a position there if I could do it all over again. Probably would have just stayed with Mark on doing Schmoes, because I had to stop doing Schmoes reviews because I was working there, because they didn't want me to counter and if I had to do a review for Collider, they didn't want it to cross over, and then Mark and I would have to like have these weird times to do our reviews, and it brought it down. So everything was just and I was only, and people were, well, why'd you do it? Why'd you work Collider? For a lot of reasons. It was health insurance for my family. Yeah. And that was if I was on my own, but like Collider Live was supposed to be originally, remember when we talked about it, was supposed to be the Kristian Harloff show, is what they want to do. And I was going to bring Roxy in. They were going to give us the main room. And then I was like, I don't want them to have my name. I'm like, so let's just do, Frosty was doing a series called Collider Live. And I go, why don't we just call it Collider Live and just continue the brand? Yeah.
I just think that the show that we did was so, not to toot our horn, but good.
Sometimes.
Not always, but the interviews.
Yeah, interviews are great.
That's the thing that I'm missing. Yeah. Majorly, and then also, at the second we were in studio on, when the camera went on, things I think were really cool. The leading up to that place and the exiting was brutal.
It's some good moments for sure, but I just don't think I was in a spot I didn't.
No, I don't. It wasn't a great time of your life.
Yeah, no, but in general,
No,
I meant in general, meaning that it was we would have good rapport and good moments for sure, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's just the fact that it just felt I don't know. It was just something about it. As I look back on it, going, I just think you and I could have probably done a similar vibe just somewhere else.
It's definitely possible. I was scared all the time.
Right. That's what I mean.
That did suck. But I often feel that not here.
Not here,
but
right? Right. Yeah.
No. But just in my 13 years of doing this, I've probably been 50 places where I felt scared shitless. Not scared.
I know what you mean.
I don't mean dramatic, but I got yelled at so much, screamed at all the time, and that was a bummer.
Yeah.
Because that sucks when you're going into work and for me and you getting there, Kristian, it would take over an hour to get there in the mornings. You would walk in and just get annihilated, and it was that sucks. That part did suck, and I just would brace for that, and then I would walk in the room and it'd be okay.
But it was you do a good show, and then you just don't feel. It's you walk out and no one would talk to you, and you just feel the other just okay, we got to move the studio, get out of here. Not what can we do to help the show? It's it was one of those things. So
I just was compartmentalizing, and when I compartmentalize, I think about the actual quality of the show, and I really liked the structure. I liked the 2-hour feel, the morning time of the interview, the second half, and our rapport. I think it was cool. Ellis would pop in a lot too. I missed that. Cougs, there was Riley. There was some fun stuff. And I'm so grateful to that show. So I just look at it differently, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I get it, and I always tell people because there are a lot of people who say how much they loved the show, and it's for me when I even hear the name, I'm like, oh.
I know it turns your stomach. I've seen that.
Yeah, it's not you. I mean, hence.
Of course, that's why I'm here. You get to pick me being here.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
I love, and I said on that same episode. On that same episode, I said you were the most loyal person I've ever met in my life. So it's it's not that. It's just I just hate the show. I just hate it.
I get that. Yeah. And when people ask how do you feel, because I will get comments every time
that's
you
what I meant.
say it. How do you feel that Kristian says it? I feel like that's Kristian's opinion, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just like your
Yeah.
opinion.
Now, if I said on air, oh, and I hated working with Roxy and Josh
it's
and
so
Riley,
different. But
then
like, why would I take
right.
it personal that you didn't like that show? You and I have done 5 shows together at this point.
People don't.
We started DC
that's
movie
understandable if you said that about.
Yeah, right.
If
If I said
get
about
that.
Brett, it makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
We went from Schmoes No Movie Show, and then you started DC Movie News, so you weren't on it, but you put me on that show. And then we did Collider Live together, and we do this show together. We've probably done those, like, a bunch of shows together.
And
So,
Schmodown.
yeah, and of course, Schmodown. Yeah.
So
it's just-
but that's why someone was asking, why, and the evolution of it, and some dopey idiot on Reddit at one point was just like, oh, well, here he goes. He says this is his favorite show now. And it's like, evolution of a thing, especially when it's in the future, when something happens, it's realistic that it could be something that you like more than the previous thing.
You also don't know what something's going to be while you're in the middle of it,
Right.
or starting it. Like,
And
I think
where
you
it's
had
gonna
high
end.
hopes and big
Yeah.
dreams for it. And
Yeah, and I thought the support system would be different than it was, and I thought that considering that at the time we were bringing in the most views and we were getting a lot of.
that was the craziest part. We would like have these videos that would hit 1 million views,
Yeah.
walk in, and everyone hated us.
They hated us, and inside of the company, and it was this was the thing that I was just like, okay, I'm done. The Collider had this presence at, I can't remember which con it was, and this is when our numbers were through the roof. Like we were easily the getting the most views on any show that was coming in there at the time, and they did this thing at some con, and every one of the shows had a panel, and they never asked us. We were the only, and all of our fans were like, "Where's the Collider Live panel?" And we weren't even asked.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh, okay, well, I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm just still mad that I got a passport in a day and didn't get to go to Greece. Remember that?
you were supposed to go to Greece. Yeah,
You're like, you want to go to Greece? You got to go. You got to get a passport by.
That was the
tomorrow.
Mamma Mia one?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Who do we send for that instead?
I don't think anybody went, but the people. It was actually the people who were asking. They didn't know who I was, and they're like, "Oh no, we want so and so." And if she can't do it, we don't need.
You pay for the overnight passport?
Yeah, I got it rushed to me, and yeah,
It's like $500.
I was so like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna go
And
to
I got
Greece
yanked
for
from
a
me.
week.
Oh, it sucks. That sucks. But Pinocchio.
Though.
Anyway, but the Pinocchio trailer, just going into it real quick. We watched that beforehand. And
Check it out on the Clips
yeah,
channel.
you can see it on the Clips channel if you haven't
got
gone.
you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I think this is a very smart move to put on Disney.
Click the button. No,
Yes,
there's no
yeah,
buttons.
button. Should put this on Disney Plus. I like what I'm seeing so far. I'll probably watch this with the kids. I have not watched the animated one with the kids yet. They haven't seen this one yet, the animated one.
Yeah, it's a
but
little.
I'm excited to see it though. I haven't seen the animated one in years.
I feel very stupid for asking this. You guys probably know the answer. Is it musical?
No.
No music at all?
Well, there's
Like,
music in
no
it. Yeah,
strings, we're not gonna hear that?
Yeah, I'm sure we will. And when you wish upon a star, they'll have
Yeah,
those
he
songs
would-
in there. But it's not. I don't think I'd classify
Like
it as
instrumental, or
No,
we're
they're
going to
probably-
see
I
them
mean,
sing it?
I guess by definition, if you would say if there's a song that someone sings, I guess you would say it's a musical.
I would say if there's 3 or more songs.
Yeah, but it's definitely not like a full-fledged musical. But yes, they will
Where
have.
most of the lines are sung.
Because we didn't see that in the trailer at all, right?
No, but Jiminy Cricket has to sing. He's got to. And then even Pinocchio, I've got no. Yeah, that's the most famous one. So yeah, I think there will be. And I think that because the movie's like 1940, either 43, 46, something in that range. So it's not one of those movies that's like Cinderella is still played in my house a lot of times too. It's like I don't feel like Pinocchio is rewatched by a lot of people. So I think that it's one of those things where it's
dark. It is
darker.
Like
yeah.
this doesn't.
1940.
Yeah,
40.
1940.
Wow. So I was off.
But I mean, even like there's part where the carriage and the rain and stuff. I mean, even aside from the kids turning into donkeys, like the feel of it is very dingy and yeah, it's scary.
I thought
think.
Pinocchio, though, the way they animated him and put him in, it looked great.
Yeah, this
Tom Hanks as Geppetto, great casting.
For your 5-point question,
Yes.
can you name any actors from the original Pinocchio?
No.
Yeah.
1940?
Dickie Jones.
Oh, was Dickie Jones in that?
Yeah.
Jones.
Oh, yeah. Good old Dix.
Good old Dix played Pinocchio.
Dickie J. Oh,
it says
okay.
he played Pinocchio / Alexander. Was that Pinocchio's name when he's a boy?
Maybe.
I don't remember that at all.
No, who knows? What about who?
Is Alexander
Geppetto is
Oh,
Christian Rubb.
the cat?
See, what I would. Can you bring up the actual one from Disney Plus? Because I want to see who the voices are inside of it. I
Yeah,
think
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, is he? Has he played Pinocchio? No.
No,
What's he?
Jiminy Cricket.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Who you got? All right,
So
let's
Pinocchio
give me
is
the cast.
Benjamin Evan Ainsworth,
Okay.
who's a little dude,
Okay.
and he's in Sandman, which you and I like.
Really like. Wait, how many episodes you in?
8.
I'm 6.
Okay.
And how many? What's the bonus? Is the bonus number 9 or
11.
10? Bonus is 11. Okay.
Yeah. And then he's in Haunting of Hill House, which I loved too.
Okay. Who else we got?
Tom Hanks as Geppetto,
Yes.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Jiminy Cricket,
Yes.
Angus Wright as Signor Ritzy,
Okay. Next.
which I don't know what that is. Cynthia Erivo, who is the Blue Fairy, who I think is a star. She played Harriet in Harriet, and she was
Right.
in Bad Times at El Royale and in Widows.
Okay.
Let's see if any other names. Oh, Keegan-Michael Key as
Okay.
Honest John.
Okay. Oh, Honest John. That's the fox.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's. And Luke Evans is the coachman.
See, remember when I said at one point, who's that?
Who's that?
I thought it was Luke Evans when I looked, and that's exactly who it was. Okay. All right, let's see. Before Roxy's got to get the hell out of here in a second, but let's just see if there's anything else that we should cover here before we.
Shoes and beef.
Nope. Before we get to the next one, let's see. I just told my 4-year-old the story of Shoes and Beef. Okay, let's see. Hellraiser, launch trailer, The Last of Us. Oh, did that just come out? Is that the full trailer? Ooh. Wait a second. Let's see.
I thought I saw something when I was watching.
Oh no,
Oh, that's the video game. Yeah.
Okay. So, Disney Plus live action King Kong series.
Wait, launch?
Wait a minute. That's awesome. I love that. All right, let's hear this. Disney Television is reportedly in the very early stages of developing on King Kong, a Disney live-action series tracking the original story of the famous ape. Paper Girls creator Stephanie Folsom is penning the serialized action-adventure drama that updates the classic monster story of the modern age and offers a return to Skull Island at the dawn of a new Kong. The series will use IP from Marion C. Cooper's original books and the new King Kong novelizations by Joe DeVito, and this isn't connected to the Kong multiverse films. All right, so interesting, though. Because
Very early talks.
very early talks is part 1. But the other thing is it too much Kong? Have we got too much Kong since 2005?
Come on, people.
I mean, what's the deal with Kong?
Kong fatigue.
Is he
might say.
alive? Is he dead? I mean, what is he?
When
feeling
are
like
you
Kong
team
fatigue.
Are you team Godzilla or team Kong?
Kong.
What are you?
Kong.
It's funny. I used to be. I mean, Godzilla as a kid.
Panic, bro. Yeah, I'm team Kong too.
I didn't see the Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean in that. I just mean like in life.
In life.
In life, actually, no, Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Kong. I don't feel Kong fatigue. The more I'm saying the word Kong, it's just starting to sound like word I'm not supposed to say.
Yep. Kong.
How'd you even do that?
Kong binkies. Those toys you give dogs. Kong. Those little things you throw.
That part I miss about Claire a lot. Wasn't when Cody used to play the big long fart?
I miss
That was the
Cody.
best. Of course.
Well,
Cody
that was-
Cody
yeah.
was Cody was brilliant.
Did I say what is Cody up to?
I don't know. He texted me after we announced the Schmodown. He sent me a very nice text about the show and everything too. And but that's I'm not sure. I mean, he's a data obviously. So his kid's got to be 3 or 4 years old now, which is nuts. But all right. Anyway, listen. It's a good day. It's a good show. We had a lot that we talked about. Make sure you check out some of those suggestions that Roxy suggested for the television streaming.
You gonna watch the rehearsal?
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a shot. But I gotta see. I got all this stuff I gotta watch first. If I get a chance to do it. But what else we got? So make sure, once again, everybody, if you haven't already done this, make sure that you head on over. This is not the one. Big Thing Clips. Let's do that. Go to the Big Thing Clip Out channel. Make sure you go to the audio podcast feed on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Very helpful. Make sure you get yourself some story blocks, do the whole thing. Oh, and the other thing is, for those people who don't know, come September 1st, we're going to be changing the Patreon is going to be, it's right now it's patreon.com/schmodown. That will change probably to patreon.com/thebigthing, but there's going to be a lot of things that all of us will be involved in. SEN Live is going on. Brett and Kate's Playdate is still on the Patreon. So SEN Live is going to be 2 times on the Patreon, 2 times on the SEN Live YouTube channel. They just had a show on Wednesday that was, or Tuesday, that was really, really good and really fun. So make sure you check that out over there. And Roxy is hosting and telling people's jokes. So.
Yeah, I'm really good at it.
Well, the hosting part.
A lot of people were laughing because I'm a genius comedian.
Yeah. You look so. Look at.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I want to do this, and then where is it? Hold on. Stay right there.
Far out, my
Wait.
dude.
Stay right there. Come back. Wait.
Yeah.
Who wore it best?
Perfect.
Really good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate you very much. We'll be back tomorrow with Capes and Cows and myself, Winston and Coy. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace out.